All right. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. As we are live, we are going to be reacting to the newest head coach of your Phoenix Suns, Mike Budenholzer's introductory press conference. And apologies once again. Sort of like when he was hired, I am one of the last, if not the last, Suns podcast or whatever you want to call me, reacting to this. My apologies. I do have a second job outside of this YouTube stuff. I'm a busy guy. Life happens. Like I said on my Twitter, which, by the way, follow me on Twitter. Real life comes first. I was at work. I was like, I'll react to it later. Well, I remember last year with Frank Vogel, I did it like live as it was happening and on media day and everything. But yeah, here we are. And thank you guys for allowing me to do this. Thank you guys for all tuning in. Whether you are watching now or you're watching later, I appreciate everybody that is going to be tuning in. Shout out to Harlem Vega. Appreciate you being here. Shout out to James. He says he is going to bring us our first ring. Yep, I'm so excited to dive in and talk about it. Shout out to Hamo. Appreciate you being here. Good, sir. Appreciate you, man. He says that intro music is tight. Thank you, sir. And shout out to Suns fan who is here as well. Thank you to everybody who is here. And you know what, guys? Let's pretty much dive into it. But before we do that, just to let y'all know, I'm drinking a cherry Coke tonight. I know I'm not drinking any beer right now, but don't worry, you guys. It's not all just Coca-Cola. I got a water here. Got to stay hydrated, you know. So it's going to be a fun show. And then after we are done reacting and me kind of giving my thoughts and everything, the Phoenix Suns made a hire, which, to be honest, I'm like literally reacting to all of this in live time. I've barely checked out anything on Twitter. I've seen some of the Suns posts about the presser and everything, but I'm literally going to be reacting to this, you know, for the first time. You know what I mean? And we're also going to react to the new hire, which is in our front office, because I don't really know anything about that person that we hired. So this is going to be a fun show. We're going to react to this live like we're reacting together. And at the very end of the show, I have a box down here. We got some stuff that we're going to open up. Well, kind of open up. I already opened it, but I'm going to show you guys some stuff is what I'm saying. All right, whatever. You're like, Suns Geek, get to it. Let's react to Mike Budenholzer's introductory press conference. So I went to the Phoenix Suns YouTube channel earlier. And it didn't start for like 11 minutes. It didn't start for 11 minutes after the stream went live. So maybe it's a good thing I didn't, you know, react to this in live time. So I fast forwarded to when they are about to start. And actually, one more time, you guys. Sorry, before we start, let's crack open this Coca-Cola. There we go. How's everybody doing, y'all? Let me know in the chat what you guys are drinking. Maybe you're eating some dinner or something. Let me know. Okay, guys. So let's do this, y'all. So, yeah, it's about right there. I think that's when they start. So, yeah, I did see that the voice of the Phoenix Suns, Al McCoy, came up to speak first, which is awesome. So let's go ahead and finally dive into this. Let's listen on in. I'm going to put on my headphones. And we are going to react to this in live time. We're going to talk all things Phoenix Suns. Again, I will be pausing and everything to kind of give my thoughts and reactions to what everyone is saying. Oops, already messing up here. And yeah, it's going to be a fun show, you guys. So let's go ahead and do this. All right. Here, in the famous words of the Joker, and here we go. Wait for it. All right, here comes Al McCoy walking on the stage. Here we go.
Right now, I welcome you to what I believe is one of the highlights of the Suns' entire history that we're going to be a part of here today. And I'm happy that you could join us. Right now, I'd like to ask James Jones to join us on stage, our president of basketball operations and, of course, general manager. James, if we can get you, and we'll hear from James in a few minutes. Good to see you. Now, my question is there anyone here other than me that remembers when Mike was taking the ball to the hoop at Holbrook High School? I know Coach Vince does. Okay. Well, all of us in this room know of the accomplishments of Mike as a coach. It's history, what he has done. He's had an amazing, amazing career. All the success that he has had certainly has been well documented, and we all know about it. And that's important. And I certainly don't want to overlook that. But to me, as I have the pleasure of introducing it to you this afternoon, is his love for basketball.
At Progressive, we don't believe in a cookie-cutter approach to career growth and development. The roles within our walls.
Okay, I'm so sorry, you guys. I did not know that ad was gonna pop up. I had to quickly switch. Okay, this is off to a great start. So sorry, you guys. My bad. That's so funny. My guy John from the Suns Jam Session podcast, appreciate you being here, man. He says Al still got it. Absolutely, man. Saul says hit that like button. Yes, everybody, crush that like button before we hear from Coach Budenholzer. Let's crush that like button, share the show. Let's get this out to more people, y'all. Saul says perfect, Brandon. Thank you so much. And Sunshine says, are you serious right now? I did not expect that ad to pop up. That's hilarious. Out of all these live reaction shows I've ever done, I think that might be a first. That might be a first where an ad has popped up. All right, let's keep going here, you guys.
It is a great honor for me to present to you now a coach that loves the game of basketball, the coach of the Phoenix Suns, Mike Budenholzer. Mike, come on out here and Shazam for you, my friend. Mike, love you. Congratulations. Thank you. Thank you, Mike. My heroes right
there. Okay, first off, we have to react to that. Like I said, you guys, we're going to be pausing and kind of going back and listening to things they said. But let's just look. This is great by Coach Mike Budenholzer. Look at this. He literally bows to the man. He bowed to him. That is Phoenix Suns royalty. He called him his hero. Our head coach, Mike Budenholzer, just called the legendary voice of the Phoenix Suns, Al McCoy, one of his heroes, his hero. That is freaking awesome. I love it. Great job, Mike Budenholzer. That is awesome. Smash the like button, everybody. Crush the like button.
Good afternoon, everyone. Today's a good day. Today I have the pleasure of introducing the next head coach of the Phoenix Suns, Mike Budenholzer. And Mike's credentials, his history, his accomplishments are well documented. He's a two-time NBA Coach of the Year, been recognized by his peers twice as Coach of the Year. He's won over 60% of his games as a head coach, one of the elite coaches. Very few have the opportunity to do it and do it as well as he has. He's won a championship. He's coached a lot of great players, but more importantly, he's a competitor. And everywhere you go, everyone you speak to, from his childhood, youth in Holbrook to San Antonio, if you're looking in Milwaukee, Atlanta, the players, the coaches, the executives, everyone who knows Mike Budenholzer knows at the end of the day, you find an ultimate competitor. And we're here to compete for championships. And I believe with Mike at the front, we'll continue to do that, which is compete for championships. And so I hope you are as excited as I am to welcome the next head coach of the Phoenix Suns, Mike Budenholzer.
All right. We're off to a good start. I like the introduction. Really excited to listen in on what Mike Budenholzer, because that is how you pronounce it. I just uploaded a YouTube short about that. It's pronounced Budenholzer, and I'm really excited to hear what he has to say. Sir Hamo said, I'm so hyped after this press conference. Like I said, you guys, I'm literally reacting to this for the very first time. So my reactions are going to legit be natural. I barely seen anything on this. I saw Matt Ishbia's tweet about it. I saw what the Suns posted on their socials, but we're reacting to this in live time. So let's get it started. Here we go.
Thank you, James. And thank you, Al McCoy. Wow. So I want to start with a few thank yous for myself, starting with my kids. They can't be here today, but Will, Libby, Hannah, and John, So proud of them, so thankful for them. We got 2 graduations happening this week in our family, so it's a big week, busy week for our family. My partner Lisa here today, been a game changer in my life. My dad, Vince Budenholzer, 94 years old, sitting in the front row. We call him the original Coach Bud. So 71 state championship with my brother Jim. I'm still chasing that. I'll trade an NBA championship for my dad's high school state championship. So I love you, Dad. It's an amazing day for me.
All right, you guys, real quick. First off, that got me a little emotional, and I'm not even being funny when I say that. Like, that was deep, man. Like, you can tell he's a family first kind of guy. That's great. And, you know, like Sir Hamill just says it right there, legit tears in his eyes. I agree, man. Like, talking about his kids, his dad, his family, that is real. I love it. Great start for Mike Budenholzer. First off, literally bowing and worshiping the legendary Al McCoy, and now getting emotional about his family. That is awesome. Let's keep listening in.
You know, my siblings, Jim, my brother Jim's here, Teresa and Jim Keeley. They're here in the Valley. The love and support I'm going to get from them is amazing. Friends from Holbrook, it's just crazy and amazing to have them here. I wonder just quickly, the ownership in Milwaukee and Atlanta, they trusted me. They've helped me grow while I've been with them. I'm appreciative of them. And the players in both Milwaukee and Atlanta, they're special, they're talented, and they allowed me to coach them. You know, all these people have put me in a position. I'm grateful for my past, but they've put me in a position to be the head coach of the Phoenix Suns. And my future, wow, how excited. It's crazy. It's freaking exciting. And so as I look to the future, I want to start with a thank you to Matt Ishbia, the owner of the Phoenix Suns. His passion and commitment for winning, his passion and commitment to the players, to the organization, to the city has been off the charts. He has been beyond impressive. He's a big reason why I wanted this job, why I've targeted it, come after it.
Real quick, you guys, I kind of like what he said there. I know that, you know, Matt Ishbia had his press conference recently where a lot of Suns fans kind of deflected and pushed back on what he said, but he literally just gave credit to the owner. I don't know if I've ever heard a Phoenix Suns coach. I've heard James Jones talk about you know who. I'm not going to mention his name, but like, I don't think I've ever heard a coach, you know, maybe besides Frank Vogel last year, but you know what I mean? Prior to that, I don't think I've ever heard a coach like just give a huge shout out to our owner like that. Like, I love that. Like, I love that connection. That sounded like legitimate. That sounded real. And I really like that. Let's keep listening.
I just couldn't be more excited about working with Matt and more appreciative of him putting me in this position. James and Josh, to align with them, to
Josh
partner with them.
Our CEO.
What James has done, putting together rosters that have played and competed for championships in our recent history, and the roster we have today. James has put that together. Josh's vision and energy and execution the last week is high level. Like, to work with these two guys, it's just exciting for me. And that's when you think about jobs and you figure out what you want to do. You want to align ownership, front office, and coaching. And I feel like we have an opportunity to do that here at a high level. And that's what it takes to win. So I'm incredibly appreciative of that, all those people. And I'm beyond excited about coaching the Phoenix Suns, coaching this roster, coaching these players. We feel like
your skin.
Oh God, I hate the ads. Why is there so many ads this time? Oh, it's probably because like I'm like reacting to it late, so they like filled it with ads. That sucks. But anyways, want to know what doesn't suck is this part right here. I hate those ads, I swear. Is this part right here when he said, wait, I have it on mute, sorry.
James has put the execution the last, just exciting in ownership. And that's what it takes to win. So I'm incredibly appreciative of that, all those people. And I'm beyond excited about coaching the Phoenix Suns.
I'm beyond
coaching this
excited about
roster,
coaching the
these
Phoenix
players.
Suns.
We feel like, as a coach and as management and players, you want to have a chance to compete for championships. And that's what we have here in Phoenix.
As a coach, you want a chance to compete for championships. And that's what we have here in Phoenix, y'all. Despite all the negativity that is out there about the Phoenix Suns, and rightfully so, the Suns are still competing for an NBA championship, baby. Let's go.
That's what I'm excited about, is competing for championships. And no doubt it starts with our roster. It starts with Devin and Kevin and Brad, but
it does,
all throughout the roster. We've got to build it.
I'm sorry. I have to talk about that. I'm sorry to keep pausing this stuff. I love how he said that. It starts with the roster. It starts with Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, and Bradley Beal. It starts with them. It's going to end with them. We do not win a championship without those three. I love that. That's what I like to hear out of my new head coach, y'all. Let's go.
A team that's built with competitors, with people with high character, with unselfishness, and you go to
Hold on, y'all. I want to go back a couple seconds.
With our roster, I'm excited to have a chance to compete for championships, and that's what we have here in Phoenix. That's what I'm excited about, is competing for championships. And no doubt it starts with our roster. It starts with Devin and Kevin and Brad, but all throughout the roster, we've got to build a team that's built with competitors, with people with high character, with unselfishness. And you go to Nurk and Grayson and all the way through the roster. We feel like we can compete for championships here in Phoenix, and that's what I'm excited about. So, the type of team we want to be, it's what James said. At the end of the day, we want to be competitors. We want to compete.
We want to be competitors. We want to compete. That's another thing I love to hear out of my head coach. Let's keep going, Mike Budenholzer. This is what I love to hear, man.
That is our calling card.
We want to be a
team that plays unselfish. We want to be a team that stays together. And lastly, we want to be a team and players individually that are getting better every day. If we focus on what we're doing each day, that's what's going to give us our best chance to realize our potential to be a championship level team. I'm sure I'll get questions, but at the end of the day, if our focus is on what we're doing every day, that's what matters most. Talking about championships, it's kind of meaningless. At the end of the day, talk is cheap.
Preach.
What you do every day is powerful.
Preach.
And
Let's
so,
go.
As I talk to our players, I talk to our ownership, our front office.
Hold on, y'all. We got to go back. I'm sorry, y'all.
Each day, that's what's going to give us our best chance to realize our potential to be a championship level team. I'm sure I'll get questions, but at the end of the day, if our focus is on what we're doing every day, that's what matters most. Talking about championships, it's kind of meaningless. At the end of the day, talk is cheap.
Talk is cheap.
What you do every day is powerful.
What you do every day is
powerful.
I
talk to our players, I talk to our ownership, our front office, everybody. What are we doing every day to be our best? And that's what's going to give us our best chance to win championships in Phoenix. So I could not be more excited. It's like mind-boggling to me, mind-blowing to think that I'm going to be the head coach of the Phoenix Suns. So
yeah, let's go. I love that, y'all. I'm sorry. Like, I get fanboy-ish, like a crazy fanboy when I hear that. And I'm not saying Frank Vogel didn't say that stuff, but like, I love it. He actually seems like genuinely happy and excited. And again, I know you guys have heard it over and over again. He really, like, he's from Holbrook, Arizona. He grew up watching the Suns. You guys know this. You know what I mean? He loves Al McCoy and everything, but like, he truly, genuinely seems excited to coach our Phoenix Suns. I love that. That gets me excited as a fan, y'all.
I'm looking forward to questions and the future here in Phoenix.
We can open for questions. Please.
Questions time, y'all. Here we go.
Raise your hand, state your name and affiliate. Gerald, we'll start with you.
Hey, Coach. Welcome to the Valley. Gerald Bourget, PHNX Sports.
Thank you.
Shout out to
As someone who grew
PHNX
up in
and
Holbrook,
Suns Planet
listening to Al
podcast.
McCoy as a kid, idolizing the Suns, what does this moment mean for you to be the head coach of the Phoenix Suns?
Yeah, I didn't know Al McCoy was going to be here today, so I'm going to circle back to
That's
Al
so
McCoy
cool.
and maybe do some names and history. But I think the biggest message I want you to hear, and like, I would coach this team if it was on the moon. I would coach this team if it
was on the moon. That is awesome.
was in Alaska. If these players were in Denmark, these owners and front
The Alaska Suns, the Denmark Suns. I love that.
office, I would go anywhere to coach this team. That's the most important thing for me.
I would go
I'm excited
anywhere to
about the
coach
roster. I'm
this
excited
team.
about everything. So at the same time, yeah, it's amazing. I don't know what the word is, surreal or wild. And to have Al kind of introduce me, and to think about, Alvin Adams at the Elbows AA and Sweet D and Paul Westfall, my dad taking me in the backyard and teaching me Paul Westfall reverse pivot into a pump fake to a step through. I mean,
Real quick, if y'all don't know about Suns legend Paul Westfall, not only is he one of the greatest Suns coaches ever, he was a damn good player and a damn good scorer. And I really mean that. I've studied the history of the Suns, y'all. He was a damn good scorer, guys. So he's not just talking there. He's saying some real facts right there.
I could go on. I'm probably in the wrong room to do Suns trivia, but
that's great.
in other
Let's do some
states
Suns
in
trivia.
the country, I'd probably do okay.
Let's do it.
So, yeah, I'm beyond excited about this opportunity, but it's mostly about the players. It's about the organization. It's about the team. And I can't wait to get to work.
I like that, y'all. Like he just, like, even though this day's all about him and this press conference is all about him, he's like, it's not really about me. It's about the players, the community, the team. I love that. That gives me like Matt Ishbia vibes, but in a good way, man. That's great. Oh no, another ad. Oh no. God, I hate the ads. I'm sorry, y'all. This is not planned. I'm so sorry, guys. Stupid ads. Oh God. That's great. I like it. It kind of adds like a anticipation. Is will the ad play? Will the ad not play? Let's keep going, y'all. Let's get through
Mike,
this.
David Brandt from the Associated Press. You talked about your partnership with James and Josh and everything. A lot has been made about this team's roster construction and how it's going to build going forward. And I wondered, how much say do you have in it? How much was that in the talks, when you were doing the job of how much say do you have in building this roster?
Yeah, I mean, the week that we spent together, or maybe it's a few days less, it's been just great. I think as they interviewed me and we talked about the team and we talked about the possibility of being the head coach, James and Josh and Matt, I genuinely felt they wanted my thoughts. They cared about, how I felt about the team. It's all of our decisions, and so I'm just happy to have like a seat at the table to feel like my voice will be heard. And the same, I need to listen and learn about the team. James has put together a hell of a team. Josh and Matt, what they think, and together collaboratively make great decisions.
Sorry to cut him off here, but I like that. He's like, look, we have a really good team here, but he's like, I still need to learn too. Like, I need to bounce off Matt Ishbia. I need to learn from Josh. I need to learn from James Jones, et cetera, et cetera. Like, I like that. That first, how like we were talking a lot about like communication and Suns leadership and holding players accountable. I'm kind of getting those vibes there. It kind of seems like Mike Budenholzer is going to be like, hey, like, we all need to communicate. We all need to be on the same page. I want to learn from you, but you can learn from me as well. Like, I love that, man. Oh my God, I love it. Let's keep going, y'all.
More smart people we get at the table, the more we listen to each other, the more we learn from each other.
Yep.
That's how we're going to continue to build an even better team, better roster.
That's great.
Hey, Coach. Dwayne Rankin, Arizona Republic. Congratulations on the job. Can you first pronounce your last name so we can get that?
That's great.
Oh, this is tough with my dad in the room.
That's great. We got to keep listening.
It's a long story, but I say Budenholzer.
Budenholzer.
Budenholzer, that's fine also.
Wait. We got to go back. He just gave us permission. We can say Budenholzer, but it is pronounced Budenholzer. Again, just made a YouTube short about this, and I got that idea because of a tweet that Dwayne Rankin, who asked the question, that inspired me to make the YouTube short. But listen to this.
Oh, this is tough with my dad in the room. It's a long story, but I say Budenholzer, and if anybody says Budenholzer, that's fine also.
If anyone says
probably gonna get in trouble
Budenholzer,
when I go
that's
home.
fine.
So
I'll probably get in
it's
trouble when I
too
get home.
complicated. Let's go to your real question.
That's
Thank you, sir.
great.
Obviously, this
That's
you'll be the
great.
third coach in 3 seasons for this team. So how are you approaching that, knowing you obviously know the expectations and guys have been let go that have been proven just as yourself. So what's your mindset going into a situation like this?
Yeah, I mean, I'm
Good
excited
question.
about,
That's a really good
working
question.
with this roster and these players. We have great players, and with great players come great expectations.
Yeah.
And I think to embrace that and understand, how important it is what we're doing every day. A lot of the stuff in my opening, how are we getting better every day? And I think that's what's going to put us in position to realize our potential. And that's, really how I've been raised. That's, as an assistant coach, as a head coach, to focus on what we're doing every day. And I would say, over the last however many years, to embrace the expectations, embrace the pressure of being an elite team, of having great players and great expectations. And, our guys have been doing that. And, hopefully together we can find a good rhythm and a good place to work and understand what's expected of us, to hold each other to high standards, hold each other accountable. We all have to do that, and it starts with me, and I'm excited about doing it.
Coach Richard Sines, Fox 10, welcome home.
Thank you.
When you talk about chasing that state title that your brother and your dad won, and you think of your history here, with the state being from here, what would it mean to you to be the coach to lead this franchise to its first ever NBA championship?
Yeah. People from Holbrook.
Who shouted that out? Who shouted that?
So it would be special, but again, it's going to be special for every single person in this room, for every single person on the roster, whether you've won 1 championship or 2 championships or 4 or 5, or it doesn't matter. When you win a championship, it's special.
When you win a championship, it's special. I love that, man. Keep going, Coach Bud. I love it.
And so certainly there's a story, and I understand it and I appreciate it, but we're going to work every day to try and bring a championship to Phoenix. And I think everybody's going to be just as excited as I am if that happens. And we're all going to have an amazing time and an amazing feeling. But it's a ton of work that goes into it, and I think we all are excited about the work.
I like that. I think we're all excited about the
Athletic.
work.
You mentioned a little bit about the decision-making process. Have you had a chance to talk to Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, Bradley Beal?
Great question.
And if so, just what were those conversations like?
Yeah, definitely had a chance to talk with those 3 guys, and really most or almost all of the roster. And those conversations are private, and they're important to me. And I think the honesty that particularly those 3 guys have had with me and shared with me, it's been great. I think they hope they know they have a coach that's going to listen to them, values.
Ding, 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 ding. That's great. Like he said, the conversations are private, but he's like, hey, you're going to have a coach that's going to listen. Sometimes that's all it is, y'all. We just need people to listen. That's great, man. He seems like, again, that goes back to what he was saying earlier about communicating, learning from other players, learning from other, James Jones, Matt Ishbia, etc. That's great.
Their experience, their knowledge. We want guys with super high basketball IQs, and I think all 3 of those guys have that. So I would just say super healthy conversations.
Super healthy
very respectful both ways.
Respectful both ways. Super healthy conversations both ways from the big 3. In case you missed the question, he was asked, have you talked to the big 3? And he says he has. And it seems like those conversations were healthy and good.
I think we take it all in, we listen, and we make great decisions. And those guys are included. They're big to us. They're important to us.
Lena?
Oh, no, another
Was
ad.
my head really that
Oh,
shape?
no. Jeez Louise. That's so good. I love it, y'all. Oh, my God. I'm sorry. We got to go back because I didn't hear the question. I have to keep muting and everything.
So I would just say super healthy conversations, very respectful both ways. And I think we take it all in, we listen, and we make great decisions. And those guys are included. They're big to us. They're important to us.
Lena.
12 News Phoenix, Lena Washington here. Welcome home. I'm just curious how you spent the last year off and away from basketball and how that will change how you approach this season getting back into the game.
Yeah, I mean, I think this year for me was really healthy. I kind of had like a list of priorities, diving into my kids and my family, super important. And we've been through a lot. So really the time
that's
with
real,
my kids
Coach
was
Bud.
just
That's
amazing.
real.
My son's a senior in high school. Going to every one of his games was just, you drive home, you're like, wow, I got a gift. So diving into family and kids was awesome. Trying to get healthy, like putting time into my body, my mind, my spirit.
He looks
everything.
good, man. Coach Bud
I'm in
looks
a great
good.
place. I feel really good. Did some amazing traveling. Went to some places in the world that were just awesome. And then, did some basketball, like a little bit. I tried to keep it in its place. I tried to, stay relevant with it, aware of it, but also know, how important those other three things were to me. And I don't ever want to do it again. Well, I mean, the kids and the traveling and family's all good, but I'd like to keep coaching as much and as long as I can.
I like that. That's real, man. That was a genuine answer.
I mean, okay, there we go. Greg Moore, Arizona Republic.
Oh God, this guy asked some crazy questions, y'all. I'm not a big fan of this dude, to be honest.
And thank you for sharing all this.
Oh
We
God.
appreciate it. You've been around some amazing players, right? You probably go back to David Robinson, you get Tim Duncan and Giannis. What's the superstar coach relationship look like? How does it work well? What should it look like?
Yeah, I think.
Whoa, did he ask
the
a
most
good
important
question
thing
for
with all
once?
the
I
great
can't
players,
believe it.
but to be honest with you, with every player on our roster, is to build a relationship with them, show them that you care about them genuinely, that you care about their family, you care about things that are going on in their life, and you care about making them the best basketball player that they can become. I think the great ones want to get better. They're not content. They're not happy with where they are. They want to keep getting better. So, building a relationship with them, showing you that you genuinely care about them. And then I would say coaching them, like coach them hard. That's what I've seen for really all of my NBA life. I'm certainly trying to do it as a head coach. I'm not perfect, but my experience is you got to coach your best players. You got to coach them hard. You got to demand of them. You got to have high expectations for them. And usually they thrive. That's part of what makes them great. They actually want to be
Can we
coached.
go back like 10 seconds,
And then I would
y'all?
say coaching them. Like coach them hard.
Coach them
That's
hard.
what I've seen for really all of my NBA life. I'm certainly trying to do it as a head coach. I'm not perfect, but my experience is you got to coach your best players. You got to coach them hard. You got to demand of them. You got to have.
You got to demand of them.
High expectations.
You got to
for
have
them.
high expectations for them. Talking to you, Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, and Bradley Beal.
And usually they thrive. That's part of what makes them great. They actually want to be coached. They want it.
They want to be coached.
So that's been my observation.
They want
That's
to be
kind of
coached.
my mentality going into this. We have some great players, and Devin and Kevin and Brad, they are big time. So I think they know that I'm going to have high expectations of them. I'm going to coach them. I'm going to hold them accountable. But
we got to go back, y'all.
Kevin and Brad, they are big time.
Listen up, Kevin Durant.
So I think
Booker
they know
and
that I'm
Beal.
going to have high expectations of them. I'm going to coach them. I'm going to hold them accountable. But I
You gotta
think
go back
Devin and
again.
Kevin and Brad, they are big time. So I think they know that I'm going to have high expectations of them.
High
I'm going to coach them. I'm
expectations.
going to hold them accountable.
Coaching, hold
But
them accountable.
That's what I'm going to do with everybody. And so it's not any different. That's kind of been my roadmap for coaching, whether it's the best players or the entire roster.
I'm sorry I had to keep going back for that answer, but that got me like excited, y'all, because obviously a lot of the offseason talk, and really I feel like it's going to continue all the way into next season, is will Devin Booker and the big three, KD and Beal, be accountable? Will they be better leaders, et cetera, et cetera? And it seems like Mike Budenholzer is going to do his best to make sure that they are, and that they are the great leaders, and that they work their tail off, and that they are just completely different players and people this upcoming season. Because if the Suns want to win a championship, like Budenholzer said, it starts with those three, and it cannot happen if there is no accountability, if there is no leadership, and if there's no buy-in, and if there is no hard work. So he is 110% right about that.
Cam.
Mike,
Shout out to
Cox,
Cam
World
Cox.
News. Welcome back home.
Thank you.
For those that don't know, what was it like growing up in Holbrook? And then what was the best thing you learned from your dad?
Growing up in Holbrook, you know, to me, just learning and working and having fun with people from all different walks of life. It's, you know, it's just south of the Navajo reservation. Half of my high school teammates were Navajos. The diversity we had in our community, the Black community, the Mexican community, everybody. It was just, I was so lucky to grow up with all the friends that I had, the teachers I had, the coaches that I had, Terry Brace and Charlie Escobel, my football and high school basketball coaches, my Little League coach, Tim Hatch. Like, it's just all that cliche small town stuff. I don't know. It happened in my small town. I absolutely loved growing up in Holbrook. It made me who I am today. I'm gonna keep it short and simple with my dad. I'll say he taught me that you press, you play fast. And those were my two biggest things. He always wants to know why I'm not pressing, and you got to play faster.
I like that. I like that.
Dana.
Yeah. Dana Scott from Arizona Republic. Congratulations, Coach.
Thank you.
Was wondering about your past success with your benches on coaches on what places you coached in San Antonio and Atlanta and in Milwaukee. How do you plan to bring that culture here to maximize the role players and bench's talent around the big three here?
That's actually a really good question.
And other places you coached.
Yeah, you know, I think as you interview for a job and you think about a job, I hope that, you know, that James and Josh and Matt know that I actually think my most important job is to make those guys better, to make those guys the best that they can be. With a ton of respect to Devin and Kevin and Brad, like I feel like I know what I'm going to get from them every night. They're great. They've been great. I'm going to push them to be even more.
I'm going to push them to be even more great. Ding, ding, ding. Great answer, Mike Bud.
But how do we make the other people around them their best? How do we get the most out of our,
Role
you know, the other guys that are
players,
starting and
Grayson
playing with them, the
Allen.
guys that are finishing with them, the guys that you got to
Mert.
manage 48 minutes.
Yep.
As a coach, I think the great coaches, that's actually.
Oh no,
Look at
another
these
ad.
humans. Just
Oh, no. Why? Why? I'm sorry, guys. All right, let's go. Wait.
Characteristic or the thing that how do we get the best out of those
Not
guys?
another
Because you're
ad.
great players. There's a reason they're great. So all that to say, it's incredibly important to me. And it's you know, again, it's vitamins, it's day-to-day work, it's giving them time to work on their craft, to work on their body, film, giving them confidence at the end of the day is probably as important or
Giving
more
them
important than anything.
confidence.
Yeah, so there's a lot that goes into building the whole team around them, but it's a huge priority for us as a coaching staff.
Mike, Colin Harmon, ABC 15 Sports. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Everywhere you've been, your teams have been high volume three-point shooting teams. What's your philosophy on that, and how do you apply that here specifically with Kevin and Devin, who we all know love to live in the mid-range?
Yeah, I mean, you know, there's going to be, you know, philosophical approaches to how we practice every day, how important shooting threes is, and you know, the spacing and all the value and all the things that come from being a high volume three-point team. You know, I'm going to work with the whole group to help them embrace it, understand why it's important to us. And, you know, when I think about, you know, Kevin and Devin, you know, being two of the greatest, you know, maybe all time, certainly this generation. And as we talk about today's NBA in the mid-range, I think of it as just adding to what they do. They're so talented. They are so good at everything they do. I don't want to take away from anything that they do. I want to add to what they do. I want to make them better. I want to push them to be their best and what's best for our team, and to get all of us to understand, how do we win? And there's no doubt that these guys will know. I think threes are a part of it, but we're going to do it from day one. We're going to do it starting in the gym, probably on Monday, training camp all throughout the summer.
Sorry, real quick. So he said, like, we're going to do it like starting Monday. Does that mean there's like actual players not on vacation right now, still in Arizona, still in Phoenix, that are like coming to the gym every day and practicing? I like that. I'm not saying these guys can't go on vacation, because I'm sure some of them are. I'm sure some of them will. But I like that. That kind of maybe hinted towards these guys are in the gym already and they're getting ready for training camp, even though it's like a few months away. Yeah, I like that.
The whole team, it's going to be important. But, and including Brad, all those guys, they're incredible players. I just want to add to what they do. That's my mentality, is to push them and to make them their best selves, and for us to have our best team.
We have 2 questions, Dana and then Gerald.
2 more questions, y'all.
Oh, okay. I'm Dana today too. Okay. That works. James, I wanted to ask you, when you look at this, the partnership as far as putting the roster together, you've had that with Monty, you had that obviously with Frank. What things are you looking at to give him as far as a roster to help him have the best chance of winning the championship?
Those conversations will be ongoing, but as Bud said earlier, shooting. For us, we need to shoot. We were laughing.
Whoa. I'm sorry. Our GM just said we need to shoot, and he was talking about 3-pointers. I got to re-listen to that, y'all. Let's go back.
Those conversations will be ongoing, but as Bud said earlier, shooting. For us, we need to shoot.
We need to shoot.
We were laughing. Me and Bud were talking about my philosophy on the game and his philosophy on the game. And I said, never forget the object of the game of basketball is to put the ball in the basket.
Preach.
And so if we can continue.
Preach, James Jones. Preach. I don't care about defense, y'all. Even though I kept saying that, I did care about it when we had Frank Vogel in last year's team. I'm like, I don't even care, y'all. Like, next year, we better be averaging like 40 3-point attempts or more. And we better be like top 10 in 3-point attempts, 3-point shooting, 3-point percentage. I want that ball in the air, man. Can we just go back again real quick?
What things are you looking at to give him as far as a roster to help him have the best chance of winning the championship?
Those conversations will be ongoing, but as Bud said earlier, shooting. For us, we need to shoot.
Metro presents a tale of 2 wireless customers.
I've been a loyal customer.
Oh, God.
We were laughing. We were talking about my philosophy on the game and his philosophy on the game. And I said, never forget the object of the game of basketball is to put the ball in the basket. And so if we can continue to find guys that can put it in the basket, and also train every day to get our guys to be more efficient at it, that makes us a better team. And it flows with his philosophy, which is we want to play fast and we want to press. I think I got it right.
We want to play fast and we want to press. That's great.
James, Gerald Bourget over here again. I just wanted to ask, you had mentioned evaluating everything when it comes to the summer. You guys had mentioned you felt like Frank did a good job with the circumstances. So in that evaluation process, what was it that ultimately led you to move on from
Gerald
Frank, and
asking the tough question.
When you were looking at candidates, made Bud stand out as the next hire?
I mean, we needed to improve in a lot of areas. There was
Dang, that was a tough question from Gerald. Let's go back to that question real quick.
Mentioned evaluating everything when it comes to the summer. You guys had mentioned you felt like Frank did a good job with the circumstances. So in that evaluation process, what was it that ultimately led you to move on from Frank? And what was it that, when you were looking at candidates, made Bud stand out as the next hire?
I mean, we needed to improve in a lot of areas. There wasn't one specific area.
Yeah,
but
hello.
I say by and large, we just felt the timing to shift was right, and we moved quickly to Bud just because when we look at our roster and what our roster needs, he fits it right. I'm a competitive guy, and we talk about this too throughout that process. Bud must have said compete 95 times in 2 minutes.
Ding, 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 ding.
Compete at everything.
Preach.
Compete in practice. compete with each other, against each other, compete against your opponent, but more importantly, compete with yourself. And I thought that was an area of our team where we could be better, because there were bouts where we didn't reach our potential. A lot of that was just the inconsistency and our competitive nature. And so that's something we wanted to rectify, and I believe we're getting it right.
Great. We're going to end with a photo op. So thank you.
Can we just go back to that last part with James Jones? I like that, because real quick, you guys, shameless plug again. I recently uploaded a clip from a past live show where I pretty much was trying to hold my general manager, president of basketball operations, accountable. And I said, is James Jones on the hot seat? And I'm not going to lie, I still kind of think he is. And I think it's a fair question. It's nothing personal against James Jones, but like, I think it's a fair question. And that's why I said it. But with what James Jones just said right there, that gives me a little bit of hope. Just a little bit. This whole press conference has given me a little bit of hope. And whether you guys, I know a lot of people didn't like that presser with Matt Ishbia and James Jones, at the start of the month in May. It got me a little optimistic in a way. I mean, I know that they can't be like, oh yeah, we got our butts kicked and the team is on fire and we're gonna blow it all up and panic and all that stupid stuff. But like, at least they were optimistic about it, and they said, we will be better, and hopefully we are going to be better. I don't really know where I'm going with all this, but I liked James Jones's answer there, and I want to listen to it again because I really liked what he said. And it kind of goes back to what Coach Budenholzer was saying. Let's listen.
So in that evaluation process, what was it that ultimately led you to move on from Frank? And
shout
what
out
was
to
it
Gerald
that
for the
when you were
tough,
looking at
hard
candidates,
hard
made
question.
Bud stand out as the next hire?
I mean, we needed to improve in a lot of areas. There wasn't one specific area, but I say by and large, we just felt the timing to shift was right, and we moved quickly to Bud just because when we look at our roster and what our roster needs, he fits it, right? I'm a competitive guy, and
I'm a competitive
and we talk
guy.
about this too throughout that process. Bud must have said compete 95 times.
Bud must have said compete 95 times in 2 minutes.
But compete at everything. Compete in practice. Compete with each other, against each other. Compete against your opponent, but more importantly, compete with yourself. And I thought that was an area of our team where we could be better, because there were bouts where we didn't reach our potential. A lot of that was just the inconsistency and our competitive nature. And so that's something we wanted to rectify, and I believe we're getting it right.
Great. We're going to end with a photo op. So thank you, everyone. We'll do that, and you can get some photos. Just 1 second.
Okay, guys, while they're doing that, get your comments, questions in right now. We're going to react to some stuff on Twitter, and I also have some stuff, some comments that you guys left that I want to pull up. Also, don't go anywhere because I want to show you guys a couple things that I recently got. So shout out to Coach Mike Budenholzer. And again, he did say, now he gave y'all permission to say Budenholzer, but he pronounces it Budenholzer. So just so you guys know that. And that's pretty cool, man. Shout out to Mike Budenholzer. Couple more things I want to react to. Get your comments, questions, all that stuff in now. But let's get to a couple comments in the chat that I really liked. So first off, I'm going to take off my headphones because I don't think we really need these anymore. Anthony said this earlier in the stream. Let's see. So Anthony said, Suns Geek, Bud is saying all the right things. His words are creating hope and accountability. That is what we need right off the bat. Excuse me. I totally agree. 110% agree with this comment here. His words are creating hope and accountability. That's what we need right off the bat. I love that comment, and it is 100% true. But like Coach Bud said in his presser, talking is great, communicating is great, but they got to go out there and actually do the work and commit to it and, just flat out win. pretty much. But I do really like that comment. Saul says, love his words, want to see the action of the players. Exactly. It all starts with the big three. It's all going to end with the big three. It is on the action of the players. Sir Hamo says, oh my God, this guy has my whole heart. For real, man. There was some genuine, honest, real, like verge of tears, and I don't blame him. I got teary-eyed when he started getting, emotional about his family, and I love that. Another comment from Anthony says, local guy making it feel great to be part of the Suns again. Preach. That's why I was so optimistic about Matt Ishbia and James Jones's presser, because I was so heartbroken and deflated and upset and disappointed about how we went out and all the negativity afterwards, with the Shams Athletic article, all the stuff the national media was saying, all the KD and Booker stupid trade rumors that aren't going to happen, by the way. And just hearing Matt Ishbia, James Jones, and now Coach Bud just be so optimistic, be so excited. As Anthony says right here, a local guy making it feel great to be part of the Suns again. Preach. Shout out to Kevin from the Suns Planet podcast. Also shout out to Sir Hamo from the Suns Planet podcast. Excuse me. To be a fan of a sports team growing up, then getting a chance to coach them. Can't get better than that. Exactly, y'all. Like, he is probably like that's just incredible, y'all. Like, I love that, man. Let's see. Mo Dizzle, I hope I read that right. The best players are coached hard and held accountable at all times and held to a high standard. Jordan says, Coach Bud will get us a championship. I have a gut feeling we are on the brink to greatness. Kind of like I said earlier, you guys, and sort of like General Manager James Jones said, and just like Coach Bud said, we are going to compete for championships despite all the negativity, despite all the criticism, which again, they all deserve it, the players, the team, etc. Despite all that, the Suns are still going to compete for an NBA championship this year, next year, and heck, maybe even in 2026, 2027 or whatever. They're still going to compete for championships. And I am all for it. And if you're not for it, then I don't know what to tell you guys. I mean, we're 56 years without a championship. I think it's our time, y'all. Let's get to some more comments here. Get your comments, questions in. Stay tuned though, because I want to show you guys some stuff that I got. I also want to react to some stuff on Twitter, because again, I literally just watched that presser for the first time. This was my live reaction. I'm kind of scrolling through Twitter a little bit, but like I'm literally checking Twitter for the first time and just seeing what everyone else is saying. So yeah, let's keep going. I'll try to get to this comment later. A lot of people don't know about this guy, but Base God Flashy says a Duop Reef would be great with Coach Bud. Reith is a good three-point shooting backup big man. I 100% agree with you. And again, a lot of people don't know this guy. And surprising fact, he was actually a former Phoenix Sun summer leaguer, played in our summer league team a long time ago, worked his tail off. I believe he was in the G League and stuff, had a really good season for the Portland Trailblazers, but unfortunately, he had too good of a season. And I think Portland's going to keep him and hang on to him because I think he got signed to like some kind of contract and everything. But I agree with you. That dude, Mike Budenholzer, wants people that compete. That dude competes, and he is a good three-point shooter, and he works his tail off. So I would love that too, but unfortunately, it's very unlikely that happens. If it does happen, that'd be awesome, but it's probably not going to happen. Jordan says, the NBA offseason is about to be insane. Buckle up. Before we keep talking about Sun stuff here, I was texting somebody about this, I think just yesterday. Despite all of the despite all of the new CBA stuff, second apron stuff, tax, whatever that stupid stuff is, salary cap, despite all that, and despite this draft class being, quote, weak, and despite the free agency class not being very much, I agree with this comment here. I don't want to overhype it. I'm not saying we're going to have like an insane, blockbuster trade every single day and huge signings every day, but I think it's going to be a busy off season. And I think there might be periods where we have to kind of wait. There'll be like some dog days, as I call it, where nothing's happening. It's just all rumors. But I agree, actually. I think we're all, not just Suns fans, not just the Phoenix Suns and all that. I think the entire NBA is going to have a really busy offseason. And it might start heating up soon. Even though this draft class is pretty weak, I still think a lot of trades in the draft might go down, at least pick-wise. Like, don't get me wrong. A lot of teams could hang on to their pick. I thought a lot of trades were going to go down last year in the draft, and I was totally wrong. But I could see a lot of trades in the draft happening because, one, again, it is kind of a weak class, but two, maybe some teams need more picks than others. Like, good example, the OKC Thunder are, I believe, going to be in the Western Conference Finals, if I remember that correctly. I haven't really been watching. But anyways, they were the best one of the best teams in the league this year. First seed overall, I believe. And they have the 12th pick. Again, because they have like a million draft picks and fate gave them the 12th overall pick. They don't need the 12th overall pick. They could trade that pick. There's like teams in the lottery that don't even really need their pick. So I'm like, I could see a lot of activity. Plus, there's all these like Trae Young rumors. Who else is recently in the news? The Cleveland Cavaliers with Darius Garland, maybe Jared Allen. Like, it's going to get crazy, y'all. Like, buckle up. I think it's going to be a busy off season. I cannot wait. All right. Let's get to some more recent comments here. And then again, like I said, you guys stay tuned because we got a little more to talk about. Here we go. Saul says, I'm excited. I think they made the right hire. I agree with that. This is what Mike said. Quote, talk is cheap. What you do is powerful. I love that quote. Mike Budenholzer should literally go in tomorrow or whenever he goes back to the arena. Like, I think he said Monday, because again, he said players are going to be in the gym on Monday. We're going to work on some stuff. He should literally go in there, go to like the whiteboard or whatever, and write that quote down. Write down, talk is cheap. What you do is powerful. And I think the players should read that every single day. I would do that if I was a coach. I would write stuff like that down all the time. I'd put up like little sticky notes and everything on their lockers and all that. I wouldn't even care. Like I would love that, man. Shout out to my guy Matthew from the Suns Jam Session podcast. Appreciate you being here, man. It says Suns Geek rocks. Happy to have Bud. Me too, man. Thank you so much for being here. D Nice says, love how he didn't give us any promises, unlike Frank. Not sure what you're referring to. I'm trying to remember if Frank promised us anything. Jordan says new dynasty incoming. Let's get to the draft first. Let's get to free agency first. Okay. Let's win a championship or two first before we start talking dynasties. Okay. Okay, let's see. Sir Hamo says we need a point guard, and it was amazing to see Coach Buzz acknowledge that. Yeah, so okay, let's focus on the question here. Oh, well, not really question, but comment here. Yeah, it's going to take time. That's how I'll kind of say this. At least, it's like Hamo said here. He acknowledged that we need a point guard. I don't know why I didn't talk about that. I must have missed his answer when he said that. But it's true. He's acknowledging it. And hopefully, even though it may not seem like it, hopefully James Jones or whoever our GM is going to be will sort of let go of the stubbornness about Bradley Beal and Devin Booker and Kevin Durant need the ball in their hands at all times. Hopefully they kind of let that go and change their tune and say, hey, yeah, maybe we do need a point guard after all. And that's why I was talking about this busy offseason. I think that there will be some point guards that could come available, and maybe James Jones will kind of realize it and say, yeah, let's bring in a point guard. I feel like somebody's going to become available eventually at some point. We'll see, though. James says, great job at the podcast. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Watching Bud gives me I can't say that word. Affirmation. I can't read. You guys know that he is the right coach to bring us our first championship. Fingers crossed. Praying that is happening. I love it. Affirmation. Is that how you pronounce it? Affirmation. I'm stupid, y'all. Sorry. All right, let's see. Despite what the stats say, Book just felt like his offensive game was off. Excited to see Coach Bud unlock him and utilize KD correctly. I'm getting that vibe too. Because he talked about, and he even said it respectfully. He's like, respectfully to all three of those guys. They're incredible. He's like, I want to bring out the best in all of them and make them even better, but also learn from them. He wants to learn from KD. He even said, I want KD and Booker and Beal to know that I am here to listen to them. So it's like you have like 3-4 coaches with Coach Bud and then all of your assistant coaches on the court at the same time. And you're listening to each other. You're listening. Mike Bud might walk up to KD and be like, hey, man, what do we need to do better? Like, what do we need to do better in the second half, KD? Booker, what do you think? Like, I love that, man. That's a real coach. That's a real, as KD put it, leader. That's a real leader right there. All right, let's see. I see a couple troll comments in here. I'm trying to ignore them. Okay, let's see. Jobin says that was a great press conference for real. Yeah, again, sorry you guys. Sorry for the ads. I can't control that, but it really was a great press conference. Harlan Vegas says, nice hat, Suns Geek. Got the same hat, but in, I don't know what that word says because I can't read. Mo Dizzle says, promise we going to be scrappy as hell. That's what you were referencing to. I was like, what? It's funny because I had that same thought during Mike's presser, Coach Budenholzer's presser. I couldn't stop thinking about that Frank Vogel quote when he was like, we're going to be scrappy as hell. I love that. That needs to be a new meme. That's why I was wondering. I was like, what did Frank Vogel promise us? I was like, what? So now there's a little bit of expectations on this team, and we can talk about expectations. I'm planning on doing a video or stream about that in the future, but that's the first expectation right off the bat is not only to win a championship, but I expect that this team and Coach Budenholzer will compete. I love that, man. Ziggy Man says, Saban Lee just as capable of being a point guard. I hear what you're saying. I do. But if Saban Lee is our starting point guard, and I love Saban Lee. I've done videos about him. He's a hard worker. The dude is really good at getting to the free throw line, surprisingly. But if he's our point guard, yeah, I don't think that's the right answer. Okay, guys, let's get to some Twitter stuff here. Now, again, you're going to kind of see my timeline a little bit here and the people that I follow. Go follow all those people. There's one clip that I saw that I kind of want to react to, and we're going to watch this for the first time live together. I don't even know what we're really going to watch. And then we'll kind of talk about the hire that the Suns did. But this comes from Dwayne Rankin, and I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything here. They got to interview Coach Bud afterward, and let's see. Let me just make sure I didn't miss anything here. Okay, we're looking good so far. This was like a separate conversation here. Okay. Yep. Oh, okay. Here it is. That's why I didn't see it during the presser, because it was asked afterwards. So let's start right here. At first, I thought he might have mentioned it during the presser about the point guard thing, but it was afterwards. I was like, wait a minute. I was like, where's this point guard stuff coming from? Because again, you guys, I just got home not too long ago and didn't really see much of what was being reported on. So we are all reacting to this at the same time. Again, this comes from Dwayne Rankin from the Arizona Republic. Does great work for them. Asked some great questions today. And here is Coach Bud on the Phoenix Suns point guard situation.
Point guards, do you need does a true point guard exist? Like, how do you feel about that position, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, the conversations have been great, and there's no doubt that we need to look at the whole roster and talk about point guard. I'm sure it's a hot button here.
Yeah. Let's go back, y'all. He knows it's a topic of conversation. He knows that it is needed.
Point guards, do you need does a true point guard exist? Like, how do you feel about that position, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, the conversations have been great, and there's no doubt that we need to look at the whole roster and talk about point guard. I'm sure it's a hot button here, whether it's with you guys, the media, the players, front office. We need
some guy named Suns Geek with his YouTube channel. That guy too.
to think about
I'm
it.
just kidding. I'm just joking. Yeah.
And we need to be able to play without one. We probably need to be able to have one.
So he answered both ways. He said, we probably need one.
To play without one.
But we need to be able to play without one. Let's go back a little bit.
A front office. We need to think about it. And we need to be able to play without one. We probably need to be able to have one. We need to be versatile. We need to be able to play different ways, bigger, smaller. But, I think the point guard position has a place. And, we're going to talk about it and figure it out. But I just know we're going to need to be able to play lots of different ways, including without a point guard.
Real quick, you guys, in all fairness to Coach Bud, James Jones, and all that, and I don't wish for anybody, I don't even want to say the word, where you get hurt. I don't want to say it. But in the event that happens, the I word happens. You know what I'm talking about? I don't want to say it. In the event that happens, Coach Bud's right. They're going to have to learn to play without one. They're going to have to adjust. I've heard some talk about Coach Bud and his adjustments. The team is going to have to learn to adjust. The team is going to have to learn to play without a point guard. So let's keep listening.
Coach, having coached Grayson Allen in the past and looking at the year he had last season, how do you plan to build off that? And were you kind of surprised, or is that what you expected to see?
No, I'm not surprised at all by Grayson. I mean, he there's so many great players that I've had the good fortune to be around, but he's right up there. I love that guy. I love his toughness. I love his competitiveness. The way he was able to take his shooting to that next level this year. I wasn't surprised. I was just very, very happy for him, to be honest with you. It's a big year for him. He's earned a great contract and extension with us. And, he and I have been talking and laughing. And, I think we probably never wanted to be separated. And now we're back together. And, it's pretty cool.
Sorry, y'all. I was on mute there. My apologies. I was just saying that's great, man. He was congratulating Grayson Allen on the great year. They're reunited. That's awesome. Can we just listen one more time to the point guard thing, and then we'll kind of move on here? Let's just listen one more time about the point guard thing.
Point guards, do you need does a true point guard exist? Like, how do you feel about that position, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, the conversations have been great, and there's no doubt that we need to look at the whole roster and talk about point guard. I'm sure it's a hot button here, whether it's with you guys, the media, the players, front office. We need to think about it, and we need to be able to play without one. We probably need to be able to have one. We need to be versatile. We need to be able to play different ways, bigger, smaller. But, I think the point guard position has a place. and we're going to talk about it and figure it out. But I just know we're going to need to be able to play lots of different ways, including without a point guard.
Okay, so let me get to one more Coach Bud thing, and then we will probably wrap up the show. I do want to show you guys some stuff that I got, but this is one more little quick interview that they had, and this is about Coach Budenholzer on his talks with Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, and Bradley Beal. Now, I believe he was asked this during the presser, but still want to react to the separate clip because it looks like it was a different question. This is about 2 minutes and 20 seconds long. So let's go ahead and listen to Coach Bud here.
Brad, when you had those talks, say, with Giannis and the other guys you've coached, similar types in terms of personalities and what they want to accomplish as far as players?
Yeah, I mean, all of us are different. All of us are unique, but I think, the common thread is they want to win. They want to be coached. They want to be held accountable.
Ding, ding, ding.
They want to know what, the vibe of practice and just everything. They're kind of junkies usually.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's been fun to visit with Devin and Brad and Kevin. And it's going to be crucial for me going forward.
Mike, if we could just go back a little bit during your time in Atlanta, your first year, getting used to everything, first round of the playoffs, second year, you guys got 60 games, Eastern Conference. It was mostly the same core. What was the difference between this from the first year to the second year?
Well, I mean, I do think for all of us, we grew a lot during that first year. I was a first-time head coach, trying to implement a system both defensively and offensively. And, so there was a lot of growth from year 1 to 2. And if I'm being completely honest with you, Al Horford was hurt for a lot of year 1. And he's an amazing player and an amazing leader. Like, I owe so much to Al Horford. He was available and played. But I do think there was a lot of growth, including for me as a coach.
Mike, look at what's winning.
Well, that's a lot of questions
right now. When you think about this roster, what do you feel like are the biggest strengths of what this group can do that can kind of win against what's winning at the top level right now?
Yeah, I mean, I think at the end of the day, you get to the playoffs. James kind of referenced shooting, and I think shot making. Having guys that can make shots and play in the playoffs and play against this level of defense and can bend the defense and maybe create double teams or help and rotations. And, so I think we have 3 elite shot makers, which is something that you need in the playoffs. And really, I would say 3 elite playmakers.
The point guard
I
thing
think
again.
Kevin Durant is very underrated as a playmaker.
The point guard thing.
And I think Book and Brad have done more this past season. And, they're 3 guys that can just do everything.
So, yeah, I'm sure other people have already talked about this, but it does seem like the point guard thing will be discussed, will be addressed, but like Coach Bud kind of said, like, they got to learn how to play without one. And that kind of puts more pressure and expectations on the big 3. And I'm going to sound like a broken record all off season long. I'm going to sound like a broken record at the start of the season and in preseason and all that about the accountability, the leadership, and the expectations of our big 3. Sorry. It's just how it is. We can't win a championship if those 3 things don't happen. And if we don't hit shots like James Jones was talking about. So, okay. That was a couple, and real quick, we'll just react one more time to the last 20 seconds of that from this clip from Dwayne Rankin. Again, big shout out to Dwayne Rankin, Arizona Republic, Arizona Central, beat writer for the Suns, does great work. Let's listen to the last 20 seconds because he mentioned the big 3 and kind of the point guard playmaking and all that. So yeah, here we go.
Elite shot makers, which is something that you need in the playoffs. And really, I would say 3 elite playmakers. I think Kevin Durant is very underrated as a playmaker. And I think Book and Brad have done more this past season. And, they're 3 guys that can just do everything.
Okay. So before we get out of here, y'all, I just want to make sure I didn't miss anything like big. I want to make sure I didn't miss any big quotes or any like big topics. Like I'm on the Suns Twitter right here, and you guys are just seeing my like timeline here. But, you know, like an earlier quote from Coach Bud, we want to be a team that plays unselfish. We want to be a team that stays together. And lastly, we want to be a team and players individually that are getting better every day. That's just from the Suns, Twitter and all that. So let's keep reacting here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch my webcam. My audio to the webcam. That's great. I'm sorry. I'm looking at something online. Well, we'll react to this. Shout out to Mike V. Hill from the Timeline Podcast, who says, when Bud says with great players comes great expectations, and there's a Spider-Man meme. That's great. I love it. I also saw a Batman Begins meme that I retweeted earlier because I thought it was funny. But yeah, so let me just make sure I'm not missing anything here. Kevin, Suns Armband on Twitter. Great follow, by the way. Big Suns fan says, Coach Budenholzer looks very different now. He had a tough year or so, but it appears that he is doing well. Welcome back home, Coach. And yeah, there's Coach Bud with his jersey. I love it. Coach Budenholzer, however you want to pronounce it. He even gave us permission to use both. And he's looking good, man. He looks healthy. He looks happy. Gave some honest, real, genuine answers. That's a great tweet there from Suns Armband on Twitter. Okay, guys. One more tweet, and then we'll kind of get to this because I think I'm going to wrap this up here. But I do want to show you guys some cool stuff that I got. Good tweet here from Inside the Sun, or @_ Inside the Sun. Mike Budenholzer coaching the Phoenix Suns just feels right. Look at that. Look how happy he is hugging the voice of the Phoenix Suns, the legendary Al McCoy. I love that, man. Mike Budenholzer coaching the Phoenix Suns just feels right. I love it. Okay, you guys. If you got any comments, questions, feel free to get them in. I'll try to get to as many as I can. But while you guys are doing that, I'm going to switch my microphone quality. So the quality is going to change here in a minute. And I'm going to show you guys a couple things that I got. And I think I might stand up for this. I don't know why. I just feel like standing up because I've been sitting here for an hour and 20 minutes. Okay, so let me just switch this real quick. Let me actually do this too. Okay, what are we doing here? Give me a second here, you guys. Okay, can you guys hear me? It's probably really crappy audio, but can you guys hear me? Someone put like a thumbs up if you guys can hear me. Okay, so like I said, you guys, get your comments, questions in. I'll try to get to as many of them as I can. But we are going to show you guys some stuff here. Thank you, Jobin. Appreciate that. Sir Hamo, thank you for letting me know you guys can hear me. All right, cool. So let me show you guys a couple things. So for those of you who may not know, last Sunday, Mother's Day, was my birthday. And it was a great birthday, very blessed. Got some really good stuff. But one of my gifts was delayed, and I got it in the mail. Hold on here, quick. Wait, what's going on here? Sorry, something just distracted me. Anyways, one of my gifts was a little late, and I got to stand up real quick, y'all. I've been live streaming for like an hour and 20 minutes. Let me just stand up real quick. Let's fix that too. There we go. Can you guys see me? Okay, cool. One of my gifts was a little late, and it came in this box right here. Yeah, a Funko box. So I got excited when I saw that. But I did open it up the other day, and I got this awesome Devin Booker Slam Magazine Funko Pop. And it's from the actual Funko store. And, you know, it was like a collaborated effort with Slam Magazine. and Funko Pop, and I absolutely love it. You guys remember when Devin Booker was on that cover of Slam? I remember I searched for that magazine. Like, I was living in Phoenix and everything, and I looked. I was at like so many stores, and I was looking in their magazine section and all that, and I finally found it. I have it in my closet. I should have grabbed it, but I do have it. I think I showed it off in a video like a really long time ago, but really glad I got this, the Devin Booker Slam magazine Funko Pop. Absolutely love it. And yeah, I was very blessed to get this, and I really appreciate it for my birthday. And that's not the only thing I got. I decided to treat myself a little bit here for my birthday. Now, look, you guys know me, not the biggest football fan. I pretend like I am, but I'm really not. I decided to buy an Arizona Cardinals hat. You guys know me. I love my hats. I support the Arizona Cardinals. I'm not the biggest football fan in the world, and that's an understatement. But I decided to treat myself a little bit, bought myself an Arizona Cardinals hat because I bought a Cardinals hat for my sister. And I figured, hey, might as well get one for myself too, right? Yeah, so I bought this Cardinals hat. Love the yellow in there, how it kind of bounces off with the red. You got the Cardinals logo right there. You got the NFL logo on the side. And then you got the Cardinals logo right there on the back. And I like my snapback hats. I don't mind the fitted hats, but I like the snapbacks. So yeah, it was a really cool hat. So yeah, that is two of the gifts that I got for my birthday. Wanted to show them to you guys live to kind of wrap up this show. And yeah, I'm grateful. I'm blessed. Glad I got this stuff. So yeah, now I'm going to switch the audio quality again. And then we'll answer some questions or comments, if you will. And then we'll probably wrap this up. So, okay, give me a second here, you guys. Okay. Are we good? Is the good mic working? Let me know, y'all. I'm pretty sure it is. But anyways. Okay, let's see. Let's get to some questions here. Sir Hamo says, Hulk smash that like button before you go. I appreciate it. Saul says, hopefully the front office lets hopefully the front office lets the players play now. Coach Bud is here to stay. Yes. I mean, obviously, I don't even want to think about that. Coach Bud is here to stay, okay? Let's just get to the season. Let's have a better playoff run. Let's do better than the playoffs. Let's win a championship. But Coach Bud is here to stay, okay? That's all that matters. Let's see. Thank you again, Sir Hamo, for confirming that the audio sounds good. Okay, let's see. Sir Hamo said the Vogel twos. Oh boy. Saul says, can we still trade down and draft Bronny and add a pick? Okay, guys. I did get this question earlier from Jordan, who said, if the Suns get Bronny James in the draft, do you think that will lure? I can't read. Will that bring LeBron to Phoenix? I'm not saying it's impossible. I just think it's like extremely unlikely. And real quick, you guys, I don't want to sound like Mr. Know-It-All here, because I don't know what the Suns are going to do with their pick. And don't get me wrong, I have been reading a lot on this draft class. I've even been watching a couple highlights, but I've been doing more reading on this draft class. Even though this draft class is weak, there always is talent to find. Like, at minimum, there probably will be at least one all-star from this draft. Maybe two, who knows? There will be serviceable role players. So in the very unlikely event that the Suns keep the pick, and I really do think it is extremely unlikely that they do they really want to lose it, like waste the pick on Bronny James? And don't get me wrong, he recently had a really good draft combine, and he's rising the ranks of the draft stuff. That happens a lot. But like, unless Matt Ishbia knows for a fact that he's going to get LeBron James, I just think it's unlikely. Now, again, that will be another live show for another day. Maybe we'll do like a draft preview. I don't know. Because it's like, I don't even know if I want to waste my time really with the Suns and draft stuff, because I feel like they're going to trade this pick and get like a better player in. Conversation for another time. I know that didn't really answer your question, but I just don't think they're going to keep the pick. I don't know. Mo Dizzle says they should get Klingon from UConn. That'd be awesome, man. That guy's probably going to be a top 5 pick, man. He's really good, but that's not happening. So here's one of the troll comments that I saw earlier. Suns have become whack since they traded their future away. I don't even want to get to that comment right there, y'all. Come on. We're competing for championships, guys. Come on. Okay, let's see. Buds will see the Phoenix rise from the ashes. We all will. Amen to that. Let's make sure I didn't miss anything here. My dog's barking at my door because he wants in. Okay, let's see. They already have shooters, just no one to keep the ball safe and make plays for the team. Someone who has high Q and lead offense. He's talking about the point guard thing. I agree with that. Bronny is the cheapest option since only have to draft him. Suns not going to have any money to get a good point guard except draft Bronny and get LeBron to play point forward with IQ, a level of point guard. I see the vision, but y'all, it's not happening, you guys. It'd be crazy if it did, but it's not happening. What do I think about Caitlin Clark? I'm kind of just like a lot of you guys. I mainly just seen the highlights. I haven't actually like really like sat down and like watched a Caitlin Clark game, but do I support her? Hell yeah. Do I hope she's one of the greatest WNBA players of all time? Hell yeah. I'm cheering for her. I did see this one video where like she was like told by security like not to go to these like kids and like sign autographs, and she literally ran past security and did that. So you know she's got a good heart. So shout out to her. I hope she's great. She's awesome. I would like to see her during All-Star weekend go against Steph Curry in the 3-point contest. I'd love to see that. That'd be awesome. Okay. Let's see. Michael says, finally a coach that won't play players' favorite. That remains to be seen. But I think I see what you're saying. Sir Hamo says, thank you, Suns Geek. Great recap of the press conference. Appreciate you, man. Yeah, that's pretty much what we did here, y'all. I was just reacting in live time. It was a lot of fun. I was glad I was able to show you guys those gifts that I got. And also check out the Suns Planet podcast. I've been on their show before. It was a lot of fun. Shout out to them. And I appreciate the support, man. Okay, let's see. Michael says, Book had so many yes men coaches that just let him do whatever he wanted. Book about to learn real quick that stuff from past few years ain't going to fly. I don't know where you're going with this, Michael. I don't know if I fully disagree or fully agree with you on that. I don't know. Okay, let's see. Seems like you're kind of out to get Booker in the comments there, Michael. Don't know if I fully agree with all that. Hopefully Coach Bud can coach and develop and play our young talent. Well, that remains to be seen because, to my knowledge, we only have like 6 players currently under contract. Even though there's a lot of player options, we only have 6 players under contract and they're not young. I think Grayson Allen might be the youngest of them, but I get what you're saying. If we even have any young talent to, develop on this roster. Everyone watching and listening needs to understand how much effort Suns Geek has and does put into these things for you. Thank you, Suns Geek. Sir Hamo, thank you so much for the kind words, man. That really does mean a lot. That comment motivates me a lot more than you know. I'm grateful. This is a developmental draft, class, and role player draft. I agree. But you know what? Sometimes those are the best drafts because those are the kind of drafts that win you championships. Jordan says, should we re-sign Josh Okogie? Man. For the right price. Does he have a player option? I'm not sure. If it's not too expensive, I'm down to bring him back. But, I kind of lost a lot of, not faith. I still support Josh Okogie. I wouldn't mind bringing him back, for the continuity and the defense and the hustle. But, it's got to be for the right price. I'm not sure on the Josh Okogie thing. Let's see. Okay, let's make sure I'm not missing anything. Sawbucks, I'm not going to read your Caitlin Clark comment. That's harsh, man. Come on, let's be real, dude. With all due respect to Caitlin Clark, I mean, come on, dude. No, come on. Sawbucks, happy belated birthday 5 days ago. Thanks, man. I'm sorry, but your Caitlin Clark comment, that's harsh, bro. Let's be real, dude. Come on. That's too much, bro. Our only star is Bull. Everyone else is trash. Just kidding. I agree, man. We need to bring back Bull. We need to start him. We need to play him 45 minutes a game. He's our future. He's our superstar. Everyone else is trash. I agree with you, man. All right, guys. I think that's it because I'm starting to lose my mind here. J.O. needs to come back. Our defense sucks. Real quick before we get out of here. Obviously, I know me saying Mike Budenholzer, in defense might scare some people because of the Frank Vogel stuff. But what kind of system or philosophies or whatever do you think Mike Budenholzer is going to bring? Do you think it's going to be a balanced act? Or do you think Mike Budenholzer is going to lean more towards offense? Because he mentioned that. I'm curious. And he did kind of reference it hey, we got to put the ball in the basket. We got to shoot a lot of threes, yada, yada. But I feel like there's going to be a little bit of defense and competitiveness as he sprinkled in there. I think that's going to be part of our game plan too. And, but again, if Coach Budenholzer's system is going to be, run the floor, fast pace, get up a lot of threes, that might be perfect. That might be exactly what we need. So we're going to have to see, y'all. I don't know why I thought of that. I just kind of did. I think this comment right here kind of brought it to me. And even though I'll probably change my tune a lot about the Suns need to be a better defensive team. And I'll probably change my tune saying the Suns need to do this and that. I just hope we're a better offensive team, y'all. And again, like I said, I want 35, 40 3-point attempts a game. If we're not top 10 in 3-point attempts percentage and 3-pointers made, then something is seriously wrong. But let's get to training camp first, okay? Let's get to the draft first. Let's get to free agency first so we know who is on this roster. Then we can start talking about philosophies and systems and all that. Lufa says, yo, Coach Bud got me hyped, man. He runs the triangle offense, so people will always be moving. That will be awesome if that's the case. Because a lot of times this past season, I didn't see many guys moving. I saw them take up the ball, spread the floor, which is fine, space the floor. Then they all just kind of stood there and said, hey, let's do this ISO thing and let's put up 1 million mid-range shots and not move the ball to, wide open threes. Because it seemed like every time we actually did move the ball, it usually led to a wide open three. I don't know, y'all. What do I know, right? Sir Hamill says 60% offense, 40% defense, 100% efficiency. Exactly. 100% efficiency and 110% competing. Suns need more movement in offense, which in turn helps the defense. Exactly. Okay, y'all. So Harlan Vega says, let's go Arizona Diamondbacks. Let's go Suns. Let's go D-backs. Let's go Cardinals. Let's go. Oh, I almost said the Coyotes. Oh, rest in peace, man. That sucks. You guys know me. I know I know nothing about hockey, but I did read like the ESPN article about the Coyotes moving. Damn, that sucks, man. That just ended the live show on a sad note. We got to end on a happy note here, you guys. Well, I'll try to end it on a happy note. First off, thank you guys for the incredible support. Thank you guys for all tuning in. Thank you guys for your patience too, because I felt like I was one of the last Suns creators, podcasters, whatever you want to call me, to react to this. But these are fun, man. I like doing these little reaction shows. I'm hyped for Suns Media Day. I can't wait because I'll be live for that. I won't be live like 5 hours later. I'll actually be like live when it actually happens. And excited just to keep doing this all off season long, you guys. Like, seriously, don't go anywhere. We got the draft coming up. We got free agency coming up. I'm sure there'll probably be Suns news tomorrow and the next day. And I know I didn't get to the news yet about the guy that we hired. I'll have to kind of read that, and I got to just look into it. I don't really know much about the guy that we hired, but apparently he's in the front office, whatever. So yeah. Before I get to one comment here, seriously, guys, thank you all for the amazing support. Make sure to crush the like button, share the show, and just again, you guys, at the end of the day, the best way to keep supporting me is just to keep watching. And I want you guys to subscribe. It's free, and you'll get notified every time I upload a video. But if you don't subscribe, just keep watching and tell people about Suns Geek. Obviously there's a lot of great Suns podcasts and Suns channels out there. Seems like every day there's a new Suns channel out there, but tell people about Suns Geek. Keep on watching, and you guys will get authentic, real, passionate videos, opinions, live shows from a real Phoenix Suns fan, y'all. So I don't mean to bring this live show down to a negative note here. I'm going to have to kind of disagree with this comment here. He says, respectfully, can you pause the feed when you would like to interject with your commentary rather than speaking over what coach is saying? I know I did that, but like, that's what a reaction is for, man. And I did pause it. There were times where I paused it and I had to go back. Like, I get what you're saying, but like, come on, man, it's a reaction, bro. Like, and again, respectfully, I get what you're saying, but come on, man, it's just a reaction. Anyways, you guys, I gotta quit reading those kind of comments because they bug me. There's a few troll. I'm not saying that guy was trolling, but there was a few troll comments in here. Some people attacking Devin Booker. Some people just saying all this crazy stuff. And let's end on a positive note here by Maurice saying, "Man, you one of the best, bro. Thank you, man. I appreciate that." And yeah, Saul says, "Hit the like button. It's easy and free." Exactly. Wherever you search Suns Geek, yes, search Suns Geek and you'll find me. You guys are all amazing. I'm out of here, you guys. Saul, great comment. Geek, you do you. Don't change. Love you. I love you guys. You guys are all amazing people. Even the trolls, even the critics, even the haters. I love you all. Remember, guys, even though we all might disagree with each other, and even though we all think we are the GM of the Phoenix Suns, just remember, we all support the same team. We are all part of the same team. And we all just want to win a championship at the end of the day, you guys. 56 years without an NBA championship. Let's fix that. Let's win a championship this season, y'all. I love you guys. God bless you guys. Stay safe out there. Be patient with people. Be kind to people. And spread positivity because the world's got enough negativity out there. I'm out of here, you guys. My voice is starting to go. God bless you guys. Peace out. Win or lose, Phoenix Suns for life. And as always, go Suns. Check out the Suns Jam Session podcast. Appreciate you, John.